Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
ma'am.
Good morning. Please have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
We call you Dwij.
Yes, sir.
So, all set, comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Should we
Thank you,
start?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Dwij, introduce yourself to the panel.
So my name is Dwij Goel, and I come from historical city Meerut. I have done my primary education from there only. Thereafter, I have done my graduation in mechanical engineering from NIT Bhopal, and I have worked for 1 year in automobile sector, Hero Motor Corp Limited. Recently, I have got into Pondicherry Civil Services through UPSC exam 2021, and I have recently
which service you said?
So Pondicherry Civil Services.
Pondicherry Civil
Yes, sir.
Service. All right.
Sir, it is similar to Dynex, so Pondicherry. Yes, sir. Pondicherry.
Okay, it is not part of Dynamics. Right. Go ahead. And what about your hobbies?
So my hobbies are trekking and hiking, and I do write short Hindi poems, sir.
You also write poems.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Talking of poems, tell me how poems were instrumental in freedom struggle, and can you give some poems which became national songs and like that? And lot of trains are named after that.
So poem played a very key role in arousing the emotions among the people, and they helped in uniting the people towards a common cause, that is fighting against the British Raj. For example, I can recall, sir, Muhammad Iqbal's poem, which became that Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustan Hamara. So it created a sense of unity among the people and a sense of national pride.
What about Jhanda Uncha Rahe Hamara? Who wrote that? Because that became one poem, like morning time people would get up and collect. So who wrote Jhanda Uncha Rahe Hamara?
Sorry, sir, I cannot recall. Right.
All right. And my second part of the question, which poem has become national song?
Sorry, sir, I am unable to recall right now.
Which trains are named after that poem? Recently introduced trains are all.
Sir, Vande Bharat is one.
So what do you conclude from Vande?
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Yes,
Who wrote Vande Mataram?
Sir, it was Honorable Bankim Chand Chatterjee ji who wrote it.
So, which I find from your def, you were team leader in electronic solar vehicle.
Yes, sir, electric solar vehicles.
Electric solar vehicle. Tell me more about this project.
Sir, we initiated this project where we made a tripod vehicle geometry of electric vehicle, and we participated in a national level competition where it was a racing competition. So it was the competition was basically about including in the school, including in the college students, the feeling of sustainability, so that they can initiate such projects of electric vehicle and participate in the national championship and show their leadership skills and technical skills as well.
So tell me one thing, why induction of solar energy is not picking up? Where are we lacking, and why don't we have power plants run with the solar energy? Why we are still banking on hydro and thermal?
So there are few challenges with the solar. The first one is the land availability, and second one is the import dependency of solar panels on the China, because currently we are importing solar wafers from China itself. And third is this dust. Dust plays a key factor where it reduces the efficiency of solar panels. So it reduces drastically the power availability from that.
So do you think solar panels are zero impact on environment? Making of solar panel and then disposing of solar panel. So are we entering into a vicious cycle of creating energy through solar panels and creating a problem of disposing of solar panels?
Yes, sir, this is a concern because manufacturing of solar panels include various chemicals also, which may harm the environment. And secondly, sir, coming to the disposal part, definitely that problem will arise around 15 to 20 years from now, because now we are including solar power plants and we are deploying them. So after 15-20 years, we will have the problem of disposal of solar panels. But a strategy and a policy can be created out where we can have safe disposal of the solar panels and we can extract out elements from these solar panels for reusing them.
So, Dwij, can you compare solar energy with green energy or hydrogen energy?
Sorry, sir, do you mean hydrogen-based energy? Sir, first of all, if I compare in terms of the resource requirement, then solar requires less resource comparatively in comparison to producing energy from hydrogen, because that would require use of electrolyzer, and that is very costly till now. Secondly, if I talk in terms of economic parameters, then producing solar energy would be around 2.5 rupees per unit, and hydrogen would go for nearly 10 to 11 rupees as per the current dynamics. Thirdly, sir, the deployment part. Solar can be deployed at a decentralized level in remote areas also. And for hydrogen, we still need a high capital intensive industry to produce hydrogen. And currently we are producing from hydrogen from fossil fuel only. So we require green hydrogen. We should be focusing on that also.
Dwij, India has entered into a lot of agreements with African countries. So why you think India considers Africa as an important subcontinent?
So firstly, the amount of natural resources available in the African continent that can be harnessed by Indian industries. ONGC is looking after certain projects in African continent. Secondly, sir, African continent is important for our geostrategic goals as well. When we would be vocaling about our permanent membership at UNSC, then we would require support for from African 54 countries. And thirdly, sir, our geodynamics, if we see, then there are locations which in the African continent where we can partner with our industries can partner with those industries and they can flourish. So economically also our industries can benefit by exporting them and by leveraging their economy.
And what about defense sector?
Sir, in defense, currently our peacekeeping forces are deployed at, they undertake various missions in African continent. But I'm really sorry that I cannot.
You can't connect defense exports to Africa.
Yes, sir, defense exports. We can also export our defense exports to the African continent.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Yes. So, Dwij, what's the meaning of your name?
Sir, Dwij is a Sanskrit word which means twice born.
Twice born.
One, when a person is born from the womb of her mother, and second, when it goes for attaining true knowledge.
When you go out for attaining true knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. Whether Christians are also twice born? Do they also have such a concept?
Sir, I do not know that whether they are having such concept, but in a generic term, it means when one goes for attaining true knowledge. So, irrespective of any religion, if one goes for attaining true knowledge, then he or she should be considered Dwij.
So, just when you go out for attaining true knowledge or more knowledge, one becomes Dwij. Or do you have to have a sanskar or a ceremony?
Yes, sir. Upanayan sanskar is associated with having this word Dwij, where in ancient times and in current practices also Upanayan sanskar is done where Janeu is given, and when initially when Guru accepted the Shishya for giving the Guru Pampara, then that is the initiation of Dwija.
That's what I'm asking. In that term, whether Christians also have such a ceremony?
Sorry, sir.
A second. Okay. It doesn't matter. Suppose we are digging at some site,
Yes,
and through old prehistoric sites, and we don't get any idols there.
Yes, sir.
not a single idol, where you get thousands and thousands of other items. So, what do you conclude? Can we say that the concept of God was absent in that society?
Sir, we have to look over the other artifacts also. Other artifacts, for example, in
Commercial artifacts are there. I mean, weights and measures are there. Then packing materials are there. All those things are there.
sir, in
Looks like a commercial society.
Sir, in Harappan civilization also, we were having Pashupati seals. So on seals, there was this god-like figure, and animals and people were going to them. So I think by studying on all the artifacts, we can decipher whether there was a concept of existence of God or not.
Okay. Do you think we need to study anthropology as a separate branch, or whether as a branch of history itself it will do? There is no need for going for anthropology, especially after someone has demolished the concept of race.
Yes.
Tell me.
Sir, history as a discipline deals with the historical aspects and tries to connect with the culture of history. But anthropology in general deal with holistic perspective, where it connects not only history but society, polity, economy, and other spheres of life. So I don't know. I think, sir, there is need for this separate discipline rather than mixing with the history, because we would be better able to connect with other disciplines. For example, anthropology.
No, it's okay. Do you think that that concept that race as a entity does not hold good anymore? Do you think there is a flaw in that particular philosophy, or do you think we have to abide by that?
Sir, as per the data available from the genetics, 99.9% of the genes of humans are same. So that does not hold that there is any racial separation.
So what will happen to the anthropometry, where you measure the fellow's nose, the bridge, the distance between eyes, this and that? So much work has been done.
Yes,
All that has gone waste?
No, sir, it has not gone waste, because these parameters change with the physical environment also. They are adapted to the physical conditions. For example, if someone is living in a cold country, then definitely he would be having tall height, and the extremities are small. But someone is living in a equatorial climate region, then he would be having short height and dull pigmentation, dark pigmentation, for saving from this environment. So I think they can be classified as ethnic groups.
Maybe, I don't know, but in Tamil Nadu, I have seen very bright, what you call fair colored people also. As a race, I mean, they are there for a long time, whereas most of them are looking tall, looking short, and a bit dark in color. But one or two communities, very fair boys and girls in Tamil Nadu also.
Yes, sir, that signifies that after the migration and globalization of the world, the interbreeding has happened between various communities. So the concept of race, where we can demarcate one community from the another on the racial parameters, does not hold good, right?
Okay. So lastly, suppose some IAS aspirant comes to you,
Yes, sir.
knowing that you have done your engineering in mechanical engineering,
Yes, sir.
and says that, sir, would you advise me? Should I not take mechanical engineering? I have also done IIT mechanical engineering. Whether it is not a good subject. What will be your advice?
So for preparing for civil services,
Oh, yes, yes.
sir, I would advise him on the basis of two parameters. Firstly, based on the interest, that where his interest lies and what he want to pursue in the future. And secondly, sir, based on the need of the exam, that what the exam demands and how.
I mean, we are looking at civil services exam.
Yes, sir.
This is the exam. And knowing that you have worked in this direction, prepared it, so that's why people have come to you for advice. What will be your advice?
Sir, I would tell them about the syllabus and its various aspects and how can they excel in this field. And I would, considering their situation, that whether they are ready to take some guidance or they want to prepare on their own. Then based on those parameters, I will advise them to whether go with the mechanical engineering or choose some other subject.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dwij, coming back to your name, you know, another meaning of Dwij you must be knowing is Brahmin,
Yes, ma'am.
and you hail from a Vaishya family. Is there any specific reason to name you like this?
Ma'am, the specific reason is only my mother. She used to read some cultural texts and religious texts. So she found that Dwija is a person who is very near to God.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she
No.
named me that.
Tell me, what are your views on caste-based reservation?
Ma'am, caste-based reservation upholds that the historical discrimination done to those castes, they can be given affirmative action, so they can be empowered and brought into the.
No, I want to hear your views, not what it does it mean.
Ma'am, I concur with this view only.
You confirm with this view. Okay. Now, RBI has not revised repo rate. What impact does it is it going to have on borrowers? Are they happy or they are not happy? You think it will sustain?
Ma'am, RBI has kept it at 6.5%. So borrowers for now would be happy to borrow because RBI has not increased another stance. But RBI is watchful regarding inflation and the bank crisis which has happened in Silicon Valley Bank. So for now, RBI stance is that we need to cater to the growth, and I think by keeping it at 6.5%, borrowers would be happy to borrow for now. But in future, RBI may change and go for withdrawal of accommodation.
In one of the landmark judgment, you know, just day before yesterday, Supreme Court said that national security plea cannot be taken as a base to curtail, you know, somebody's freedom of expression and speech.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do you think should be done, you know, in such a situation? Freedom of speech is very important, but at the same time, national security is also important. So, how should the system, the government, the administration go about it?
Ma'am, national security concerns are valid, but for that, as Honorable Supreme Court has also said, that that should be backed by various facts and various assertions. That what are the facts and assertions on which national security concerns can be held valid for restricting freedom of speech. So, ma'am, I think national security concerns are valid, but for reasonable restrictions, as Article 19 also points out. But valid reasons for these restrictions and whether test of proportionality is passed by the Honorable Court, that also need to be catered to.
Good. Emotional intelligence is a very important aspect of any personality. Even for an administrator to be successful, there should be balance between emotional intelligence and other type of intelligence. But we are going to use artificial intelligence in a big way, you know, in administration too. You see any contradiction between the two? You think it is going to fiddle with the emotional intelligence of officers?
Ma'am, it rests to how we apply the artificial intelligence in administration. There are some works which artificial intelligence can make easy and more efficient. But at the cutting edge level, we are directly dealing with the people. And so at that level, I think emotional intelligence supersedes, and for that administration requires not the artificial intelligence but the human touch to deal with the people. Artificial intelligence can be a point for better delivery of services to the people, but emotional intelligence would help keep in human aspect in it.
Thank you. Over to you.
Dwij,
Yes, sir.
you just said you are from a historical city, Meerut.
Yes, sir.
How it is historical, Dwij?
Sir, from the Indus Valley civilization, it has the easternmost Indus Valley civilization, Alamgirpur, and before that, if we go in mythological past, then Hastinapur has been an important center of Kuru kingdom. So that is also historical.
Kuru, who are Kuru?
Sir, Kuru which involve Pandavas. Kuru kingdom.
Kuru involved Pandavas.
Yes,
So the Kuru, but there are Kauravas also, na?
yes, sir. Kauravas and Pandavas.
Kauravas and Pandavas. So it was the capital for whom here in Hastinapur?
For Kauravas or Pandavas or Kuru?
Sir,
Whose capital it was?
sir, it was for Kauravas thereafter, because Pandavas established their capital in Indraprastha.
Where is Indraprastha, Dwij?
Sir, in Delhi.
In Delhi.
Yes, sir.
So Kauravas were in Hastinapur,
Yes, sir.
Pandavas in Delhi,
Yes, sir.
and they fought in Haryana, in
Yes, sir,
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra. Yes,
Why
sir.
they went for fighting there? They could have fought here itself. Why? Why they went to Kurukshetra?
Sir, Kurukshetra has a vast tract of land, plain land, where war can be fought, and there are strategic reasons of mobility of forces.
Any mythological reasons for fighting there?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Okay, you know, in G20 we have a Dwij line, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Yes, sir.
From which scripture it has been taken out?
Sir, it has been taken out from Mahaupanishad.
From
Mahaupanishad.
Maha. Okay. And your optional is anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you tell me a few vestigial organs that has ceased to do their normal functioning in a human body?
Sir, appendix is the one.
Appendix is the one, and one
Sorry,
or two more. Oh no,
Sorry,
only
I cannot
one.
recall right.
Okay, let us talk about appendix. Why it was there earlier? It was earlier functioning. Now it is not functioning. Why it functioned earlier?
Sorry, sir, I have to read more into it.
Oh, okay. Dwij, tell me something about Government of India's schemes. No, Government of India is coming out a number of social welfare schemes, and there are good schemes for welfare of tribal women also. For tribal women, what are various schemes the Government of India has come up with?
Sir, there is a goal scheme going online for learning, where they are training tribal women in digital arena, and they are building their digital skills.
Okay. And
And
anything for their betterment, say for their economy,
Yes, sir.
for their strengthening the tribal women in
Yes, sir.
economic sense?
Sir, under Vandhan Yojana, they are making self-help groups under Vandhan cluster. So they are providing them loans under it, so that they can market their minor forest produce from the forest.
Can you name few minor forest produce, Dwij?
Yes, sir. So sal leaves, tamarind
Sal
leaves,
leaves.
sal leaves, tamarind.
How sal
Honey.
leaves are used?
Sir, they are used for making plates, crockery plates, and which are very environment friendly. They are making for yes, they are used.
Do you see such type of plates in Delhi?
Sorry, I have not seen, sir.
You have not. Have you seen such type of plates being used in any part of the country?
Yes, sir, I have seen.
Where?
Sir, in one of the party which I attended, they have bought this sal leaves plate
So
Or-
that is a minor.
as a crockery.
Okay. Which Indian state is having maximum number of tribal groups? I mean, not in population number, but in groupings. Maximum number of tribal groups.
Sir, in groupings, Odisha is having the highest number of tribal groups.
Odisha.
Yes, sir.
And any state which does not have any tribal group in India?
So Punjab is not having any tribal.
Punjab is not having.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dwij. Thank you
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Okay, so Dwij,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned you are already into Pondicherry Civil Services.
Yes, sir.
So, have you joined or you are undergoing training?
Sir, I am undergoing training. I have joined a month ago.
You joined a month ago. Okay. So, I thought the name is Puducherry and not Pondicherry.
Yes, sir. The name has changed to Puducherry now.
But still, in your DAF, it is mentioned as Pondicherry Civil Services.
Yes, sir.
Why,
So, so the UPSC has not changed the name of the services. It is still called Pondicherry Civil Services.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your opinion about renaming of places and cities?
So if the renaming is done to restore the historical and cultural aspect, and the demand comes from the people, and then taking into consideration the administrative cost, then certain places can be renamed. But while saying so, it should not become a political vendetta for renaming the places, sir.
But don't you think if we rename any place or city, one aspect of history is gone?
Yes, sir. History is seen through multiple perspective. So it can be seen that one aspect may be gone, but at the same time, we have to see what that city signify for in the historical and cultural aspect. So balance has to be drawn that how it has to be named by the people.
Okay. You also worked in Hero Motocorp,
Yes, sir.
and you also had you were also winner of electrical solar vehicle championship.
Yes, sir.
Right. So my question is, why people in India are reluctant or not willing to buy electrical vehicles in India?
So majorly 2-3 reasons. The first one is lack of charging infrastructure, and second is the cost of electric vehicle. We generally, if I go for a passenger vehicle, then it will cost me around 4 to 5 lakh more than a normal conventional vehicle. And thirdly, sir, it is the initial the inertia which people are hesitant to initially buy that electric vehicle because they are skeptical about its potential future.
Okay. You are already into civil services.
Yes.
So what further are you looking forward to?
Sir, I am looking forward for being into Indian Administrative Service, and I think I would be better able to utilize my acumen and skills, and that would be better for my career growth as well.
And anthropology is your option subject. So who are PVTGs? Tell me something about PVTGs.
So PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, are among the tribes which are more backward, and they have been identified because among the tribes they are being more backward, and they have their population is declining. So special efforts are being done for their betterment and for their development.
Moving over to international relations.
Yes, sir.
The proximity between Russia and China, how will it impact India?
Sorry, sir.
The close relationship between Russia and China, how will it impact India?
So in recent times, Russia and China are getting closer with their no limits partnership. So India's interests and relations with Russia may get hurt from the one perspective if we look at it. And India's partnership for making projects through Central Asia, like International North-South Corridor, that can be impacted. But while looking at the other side of it, it can be looked at India and Russia partnership has sustained through decades, and our friendship has been sustained. So I think, sir, China's hegemonic tendencies will in future come up to the surface, and India and Russia can be a good friend as always. And recently, Russia has released its foreign policy. And it in that foreign policy, it has specifically mentioned about India as a key partner. So I think Russia is pragmatic about its relation with China, and in future it has to be seen how they unfold.
Can you highlight the difference between trekking and hiking?
Yes, sir. Sir, hiking is a walk in the natural natural scenic beauty on the well-defined trails. But in trekking, the trails are not well-defined, and one has to go to the summit.
Okay, thank you, Dwij. I pass on to Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
So, Dwij,
Yes, sir.
tell me what was the role of Meerut during India's freedom struggle?
Sir, during 1857 revolt, the initial spark ignited from the Meerut, and people started to move towards Delhi with the cry of Dilli Chalo and overthrow the British Raj, and under the banner of Bahadur Shah Zafar, Mughal Emperor, to overthrow the British Raj, and having a spirit of uniting the nation and throwing away the British.
And what is this Meerut conspiracy case?
Sir, in 1929, the trade unionists were arrested by British people because they thought that they were conspiring against the British people for overthrowing them. That was the Meerut conspiracy case, and trial was there after that for punishing them.
Why there are so many Bengali doctors when you approach Meerut? Any special reason for Bengali doctors in Meerut?
Sir, it is that doctor in the sense are not the actual doctors but the quarks. So they, because it was assumed by certain people that in Bengal they have this better power of black magic and doing things. So they are using name Bengali before them for fooling the people.
All right, all right. So, which we have covered all the questions that we wanted to ask.
Thank you, sir.
So, anything you feel is left out that we have not covered, I can ask one last question.
No, sir. I think I am happy to having a conversation with the esteemed panel. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, Dwij, you can wait outside. We'll call you in a moment.
Thank
Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
So, Dwij,
Yes, sir.
tell us how you think you have done.
Sir, I think it's an average performance, average or above average.
कहाँ लगता है आपको कमी कहाँ रह गई?
Sir, I think in some of the questions I could have been more crisp, and that's, I think, so.
Dwij, you have very good personality, very good communication,
Thank you, sir.
positive, confident. So normally this is a personality test, and in personality you have excellent personality.
Thank you, sir.
Smiling, confident, body language, communication, pitch of voice, modulation of voice. So I can find no area of personality where I found you lacking. But scope for improvement. Number one, knowledge. Read little more on certain current affairs. Topics like, I'll start with my own questions, then we'll move. I asked you about solar panel and sustainability.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the biggest issue these days is on sustainability, on unsustainability of solar panels.
Yes, sir.
Read more on what is being done. America has done a study that their agricultural production came down because of installing too much of solar panels. It is also impacting the ground production. So I am not going into
Because of
lecturing
land.
you because of.
Land.
So read more on solar panel and why this is being questioned, and why gas comparison with hydrogen was only in the context of this.
Okay, sir.
So if you know both, you can do a better comparison. All right. So I just thought you need little more knowledge on that. Rest all you were excellent. Poem. I didn't ask you poetry being recited in the parliament. So even read that. Bankim Chand. Find out who wrote झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा. कानपुर आपके मेरठ के पास का दी ऑथर ऑफ झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा. कानपुर के बिठौर म्यूजियम में आप जाएंगे तो उनकी तस्वीर भी लगी हुई है.
Okay, sir. So I will
But-
read more into it.
Read more on poetry because this is a topic which board members may like to drag you into.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
So 3 areas: freedom struggle,
Solar.
the poems which became motivators, and Bankim Chand.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So that's it. We'll hear other members.
Yeah. So, Dwij,
Yes, sir.
so you have to prepare in depth. Time is short,
Yes, sir.
so current affair, important. One thing you have to learn, that if a question is direct, then don't beat about the bush. Attempt it as it is, in an honest manner.
Yes.
So that's why, to test that only, I asked you about that you are from mechanical engineering, you have chosen anthropology.
Yes, sir.
So we did not ask why not anthropology, we asked you why not mechanical engineering.
Yes, sir. I misinterpreted.
So remember, if you examine the UPSC syllabus of mechanical engineering, then many candidates have told me that it is a bit vast syllabus.
Yes, sir.
This is one problem with the mechanical engineering. I am not a mechanical engineering graduate,
Yes, sir.
but
Sir,
I keep on looking at the thing.
Sir, I tried to convey in a manner that whether he or she can cover that syllabus by the guidance or by self study. So
No.
I do not
That is a
directly
hazy way of replying.
Yes, sir.
Bureaucrat's good quality is the crystal clear decision maker and conveying the same thing, your views, conveying in a clear manner. That is what we are looking for.
Yes, sir.
And second point with the mechanical engineering is that at least half a portion of the subject, half a portion of a question is most of the time in a numerical manner.
Yes, sir.
मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग पेपर में न्यूमेरिकल सवाल भी है.
Yes, sir.
सो न्यूमेरिकल सवाल में क्या है कि अगर आप कर पाए तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं कर पाए तो समस्या है वहाँ पर.
Yes, sir.
सो मार्क्स विल कम डाउन. सो इफ यू आर वेरी गुड एट मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग, व्हाई नॉट? दैट्स नॉट एन इशू. But if there is a issue with mechanical engineering during your 4 years or so of study, then it is better to look for another one. So have a very crystal clear idea, conveyed in a crystal clear manner. Don't leave it to others.
Yes,
The
sir.
buck stops at you.
Right, sir.
You are a problem solver, not a problem generator. ये क्वालिटीज़ हैं ब्यूरोक्रेट की जो कि ध्यान में रखना है तो हम लोग कर पाते हैं. ठीक है ना. एंथ्रोपोलॉजी को भी अच्छा से पढ़िएगा. जो सवाल पूछा है तो केरला में ऐसा एक खुदाई चल रहा है और उसमें ऐसी ही समस्या आई हुई है, तो उसमें एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट की अलग अलग व्यूज हो रहे हैं.
सर
केरल में
केलाडी एक्सिबिशन.
अब मैं तो उतना डिटेल जानता नहीं हूँ. केरल में जानता हूँ कि केरल में चल रहा है काम एंड देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ कंफ्यूजन अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटी. हाँ, आप पढ़िएगा तो ज़्यादा.
और इसी में एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, फॉरेंसिक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी भी देख लेना. व्हाट इज फॉरेंसिक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी? जब स्केलेटन निकलते हैं तो उनकी स्टडी होती है फॉरेंसिक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी से.
Yes, sir.
The question that honorable member asked will
Was
get
about-
completely replied if you know about this.
Forensic anthro.
हाँ,
Yes, sir.
उसमें इसमें ये स्केलेटन लेके भी प्रॉब्लम है. देखिएगा, इंटरेस्टिंग.
Yes, sir. We can try, sir.
जी
Thank you, sir.
मैम.
Dwij, I found you a very charming and confident personality.
Thank
But
you.
as honorable member pointed out, if I am asking a question, don't start explaining the background to me. You did that in the case of RBI. Don't do it, just straight away come to the point. I asked you how is it going to help borrowers. You said repo rate बड़ा है नहीं और ये है वो सब करने की जरूरत नहीं. Come to the point straight away. And your answer on AI and EIA was really, really good. I really liked it.
Thank you.
So just stick to the point. It will save the time of panel. They can ask you many more questions. Plus they will not get worked up. बहुत ज़्यादा बात करने से कभी-कभी परेशान भी हो जाते हैं. Otherwise you are excellent. I found you really good.
Thank you.
Okay. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Dwij, you are a good candidate. You are a very good candidate.
Thank you,
I'll
sir.
just say, well, follow the advice being given to you. That's
Yes, sir.
all.
Definitely.
You do well.
Thank
All
you,
the
sir.
best.
Thank you so much.
So Dwij, I share the same opinion. Good personality, good candidate, well dressed. उस दिन शेव करके जाओगे थोड़ा,
हाँ,
देख लेना. और preferably enter and exit with the open coat, open button of the coat. आप भूल गए थे, फिर बीच में आपने खोला. आप वीडियो देखिएगा.
Forward to one.
तो वो टेस्ट हो ही नहीं रहा है.
Yes,
टेस्ट आपकी पर्सनैलिटी हो रही है. इट्स अ रिडंडेंट एक्सरसाइज. वैसे ही आ जाओ, कोई क्या फर्क पड़ेगा.
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा सा कंटेंट में डीप जाना होगा. जो पॉइंट्स आ रहे हैं ना ध्विज, वो थोड़े जेनरिक आ रहे हैं. तो जब डीप जाएंगे थोड़ा सा, तो प्रायोरिटी में फर्स्टली, सेकेंडली, थर्डली करके बोलोगे तो थोड़ा सा वेटेज ज्यादा आ जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
है ना, क्योंकि पर्सनालिटी बहुत अच्छी है आपकी. बस कॉम्प्लीमेंट करना है कंटेंट के साथ. और लगभग 10 दिन है आपके पास. 17 अप्रैल को है ना.
Yes, sir.
9 दिन है. रिवाइज करो जितना ज्यादा हो सकता है और पॉइंट्स बना लो. 4-4 पॉइंट्स, 5-5 पॉइंट्स. 100 क्वेश्चन निकालो डैफ में से, 4-4 पॉइंट रख लो ताकि 3 प्रायोरिटी वाले बोल पाओ. एंड 70% तो वही आने वाले हैं. 30% इधर उधर से क्वेश्चन आएंगे तो उसका कुछ कर नहीं सकते, तो ऑन द स्पॉट देख लेना.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
और ये this collar button should not be exposed.
ऊपर
Whenever
ऊपर
you wear a tie, you tie a tie, so don't
sir.
expose the collar button.
Definitely.
Okay?
I'll look.
pull up your knot
You just pull it up.
and
So that will be better.
Sir, it is because of this.
Not now, but
चलेगा,
when you
चलेगा.
go there, not now.
Yes, sir.
No, that is important.
Sir. Sir.
Dwij,
Yes.
we have given you 65% marks.
179 marks. So you're in 180 range. Good.
Lekin Dwij, this is not what you should be getting. You should be getting, as I said, with such a beautiful personality, confidence, smile, and everything good. Thoda sa knowledge, and you should know when to stop and how to make comparisons. Practice. ठीक
So I
है?
will do so.
लास्ट ईयर कितने आए थे द्विज?
So last year, unfortunately, I got 154.
हाँ मुझे लगा था एक्चुअली आप वेटिंग लिस्ट में होंगे
Yes, sir.
है ना हाँ तो उसके बाद ही आप उसमें आ जाते हैं ना
So
Yes, sir. I might have.
तब से लेके अब तक तो बहुत आगे बढ़
Yes,
गया,
इम्प्रूवमेंट
लेकिन यहाँ पे रुकना नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
This is just a pointer to the mark of 200,
Yes, sir. I'll definitely.
where you have to cross. ठीक है? So do well. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Any question you want to ask?
Sorry.
Any question you want to ask?
No, sir. The question was about like this comparison answer. When I did comparison about solar and hydrogen, so was it fine?
See,
or should,
Biggest thing about these is while cost can be unfavorable to hydrogen, sustainability is favorable to hydrogen.
yes.
And in the long run, when you do the comparison, you see why India is taking lead in hydrogen energy. Why India is committing billions of dollars of investment not in solar but in hydrogen, despite International Solar Alliance being there. इससे तुमको पता लगना चाहिए.
Yes.
Why I didn't ask you a question on ISA but hydrogen. जैसे ही आप इसको पढ़ेंगे आपको आंसर मिलेंगे.
Got it, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sir.
Thank you.
Oh.